Have you ever found yourself looking at your calendar, maybe not just for next week, but imagining what your life might look like years or even decades down the line?
Mm-hmm.
We all set goals, short-term or long-term, for careers, families, maybe even where we live.
Yeah.
But today, we're taking a deep dive into something a bit more comprehensive, lifespan planning.
Right.
This isn't just about listing a few aspirations. It's a structured, pretty powerful approach to strategically connecting those personal milestones across the whole journey of your life.
Yeah, the big picture.
Our mission in this deep dive is really to unpack some fascinating insights. We looked at a foundational text on the Lifespan Plan project, trying to give you a shortcut, basically.
Gotta boil it down.
Exactly. A shortcut to understanding how you can start strategically charting your own life's course, maybe making better decisions along the way.
Okay.
We'll explore what personal goals really are in this bigger framework, pinpoint the specific areas of life that probably should be part of your plan.
Right, those key categories.
And then we'll bring it all to life with a really compelling real-world example. It's about building a sort of living map for your future.
A roadmap.
And we're going to help you see how. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Okay. So to really deep dive into envisioning your entire life's journey, we first need to lay down some foundations. Let's start by understanding what our sources define as the building blocks.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly are personal goals in this context?
Well, we talk about personal goals a lot, but our source gives them a really useful frame. They're essentially those milestones, those aspirations that hold the most, profound value for us.
Okay.
These aren't just whims. They're the tangible expressions of what we truly want for our lives. Could be short-term, like about in a year, maybe multi-year things. But what's really transformative, as the research points out, isn't just having goals, but understanding how they kind of weave together across all these different parts of your life: family, living conditions, education, career, community.
That interconnectedness is really fascinating. It suggests it's not just about what you do for work, as say.
Exactly.
It's also about who you are and what you truly value, and how maybe one small step in one area can ripple out across your whole life plan.
Precisely. And the material also stresses, there's no single right goal.
Right.
Your big ambition might be to become a judge, while maybe your best friend dreams of owning a farm. Both are valid.
Okay, that makes sense. And this leads us, I guess, to the broader canvas you mentioned earlier, your lifespan.
Yeah, the lifespan. It's simply that entire timeline from birth to death. It covers all the significant events and stages of your life cycle. Think of it like the source says, it's kind of a straight line. It contains all the major things you hope to achieve.
So if personal goals are these individual milestones, how do they connect to that grander vision, the whole life journey?
Well, that's where lifespan goals come in.
Ah, okay.
These are those really big, overarching aspirations, the ones that truly shape your most important decisions, maybe over decades.
That sounds like a huge undertaking, mapping out an entire life like that.
Yeah.
Is this kind of long-term planning something that just, naturally happens? Or is it more intentional?
Yeah.
A structured process?
That's a really crucial point. These larger lifespan goals, they generally don't just happen by accident.
Right.
The research is pretty clear. Successful people tend to actively create long-term plans for how they can actually achieve them. These are what we call lifespan plans.
Okay.
And this raises a really important question for anyone listening. Why bother? Why is this kind of intentional, deep planning so crucial? What's the real payoff?
Well, one of the most powerful insights I thought from our reading was how seemingly separate goals can actually be deeply linked. Like learning about business might seem purely career-focused, right?
Yeah, on the surface.
But the material highlights how that could dramatically impact your ability to have, say, a happy family life, maybe through better income, more stability, more choices.
Absolutely. It's about seeing those connections, that ripple effect you mentioned.
But life isn't static, is it? Does this lifespan plan mean you're stuck with a rigid course for the next 50 years? Or do the sources talk about how these goals might change as you, grow and experience things?
Oh, that's absolutely key. The sources really emphasize that a lifespan plan isn't some fixed blueprint carved in stone.
Good.
It's meant to be dynamic, a living document. What feels important to you at 20, maybe it's all about career advancement, might shift dramatically by the time you're 40.
Yeah, priorities change.
Exactly. Maybe then it's more about raising a family or getting involved in your community. The plan acts as a flexible guide. It lets you continually realign your actions with your evolving values and the different life stages, building a career, raising kids, enjoying retirement.
So it adapts with you.
That continuous adaptation, that's where the real power is.
Okay, to really help us visualize how this kind of planning actually takes shape, the material gives us a fantastic example. It's Nura, a 16-year-old high school student.
Yeah, Nura's story's great.
Even at that age, she's thinking pretty big, like dreaming of owning her own art gallery.
Nora's story perfectly illustrates how practical this can be, even when you're young. To start her plan, she systematically looked at 6 specific areas of her life.
Okay, what were they?
They were education, career, family, finances, community, and retirement. Pretty comprehensive categories.
Mm-hmm.
And these are categories that you, listening right now, could also use as a starting point for your own thinking.
Right. And from those categories, she identified 6 central lifespan goals, things that really matched her values, her interests, her personality. Can you give us a flavor of what those big goals were?
Sure. So among Nura's 6 central goals, she aimed to get the right training and education for art gallery management.
Makes sense.
She wanted to successfully own and operate her own retail art gallery.
A big dream.
Yep. Also, get married, have children, own a home, achieve financial security, be active in her community, and retire by age 60.
Wow. That is incredibly ambitious, especially for a 16-year-old.
It is.
It makes me wonder, though, how does someone even start tackling goals that big without feeling totally overwhelmed? The source mentioned careful planning and trade-offs. How does that actually work?
Well, if we connect this back to the bigger picture, almost all major lifespan goals eventually need money, right? Financial resources.
True.
So Nura, quite wisely, realized she needed to start saving and investing part of her income early on.
Yep.
And this meant making some calculated trade-offs, things like maybe limiting her spending on immediate wants like clothes or going out now so she could pay for college and her career goals later.
Ah, right. The classic delayed gratification.
Exactly. It shows that practical side of planning, decisions you make today directly shape what's possible for you in the future.
And what's really insightful, I think, is how she organized it all. It wasn't just a list in her head.
No, not at all.
She actually put it into action using a detailed table.
Yes, exactly. Nura didn't just have a wish list. She organized her goals into a living grid. You can picture it. Those 6 categories across the top: education, career, finances, etc.
Love it.
And then down the side, different time periods, like the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, all the way out to maybe 50 years from now.
Wow.
And this grid allowed her to map out specific, concrete actions for each phase, like save SAR 4,000 each year in the next 2 years column.
Very specific.
Or maybe travel to the UK to see artists' work under the 20-year mark. Or even, way out there, sell business and buy a retirement home in a cooler climate in 50 years.
So this isn't just dreaming, it's a practical roadmap. It actually helps her make real decisions today.
Precisely.
It's guiding her choices now, like signing up for accounting and business classes next year, knowing they fit the plan.
Right, or knowing what kind of part-time job to look for.
And even how to spend and save her income day to day. It's like you said, a kind of constantly updated GPS for her life.
A living document.
Yeah. Now, while Nura's plan is a really powerful illustration, the text is very clear about something important. Her plan is right for her, but it wouldn't necessarily be right for you, the listener.
Absolutely not. Everyone's different.
You have your own unique abilities, interests, personality, family situation, all of that. So for listeners thinking about creating their own plan, what are the key takeaways from the sources on how to actually start?
Well, the process really starts with some deep reflection. Thinking hard about what you truly value.
Okay.
Then gathering resources, information, maybe advice, listing out your individual goals, both short-term and long-term.
Right. Get it all down.
Yeah. And then sorting them, classifying them into those bigger, overarching lifespan goals. Maybe using a grid like Nura's, if that helps organize things. And it also means thinking about things that might not be covered in a course, like the size of family you might want, or how involved you want to be in your community, the personal stuff.
That makes sense. And there was one last piece of advice in the material that seemed really helpful.
Yes.
Once you've drafted your plan, even a rough draft, it's incredibly beneficial to talk it over with someone experienced.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe a teacher, a guidance counselor,
Yeah.
another adult you trust and respect.
Yeah, getting that outside perspective is huge. They can offer advice, maybe spot things you missed, offer encouragement. It's a really valuable step.
Okay, so wrapping this up,
Yeah.
what does this all mean? Well, you've taken a pretty deep dive into how you can start envisioning and, more importantly, actively planning for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
From understanding how those small personal goals connect to your entire lifespan to seeing a really detailed, actionable example like Nura's, you now have, hopefully, a powerful framework for thinking about your future.
Yes, and this really brings up a critical point for you, the listener. The sources strongly emphasize that making a lifespan plan is a hugely important first step.
Right. The first step.
But, and this is the key, it is only a first step. If you make this plan and then just file it away, if you fail to actually act on
And
it,
it's just a piece of paper.
exactly, its potential unrealized. It won't achieve anything on its own.
That feels like the most crucial takeaway, honestly. Building the plan is valuable because it helps you make better decisions now.
Yeah.
It provides clarity, direction. It turns those vague hopes into concrete actions you can take.
Right.
So, think about everything we've discussed today. What's maybe one small, concrete action that you listening could take? Maybe today or this week. Something inspired by this deep dive to begin or just advance your own lifespan plan.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be huge.
Maybe it's just reflecting on one of those 6 areas Nura focused on, like finances or career, or maybe just identifying one short-term goal that you can see clearly aligns with a bigger long-term aspiration.
Your future really is a journey. And having some kind of map, even a rough one that you update, can make all the difference. Maybe think about what your next 2 years might look like on that timeline. And just ask yourself, what's one step I can take today or this week to start charting that course?